All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, there are some players around the NBA who put together some phenomenal years, okay? But in regards to the league's MVP, it's a two-man race between Oklahoma City Thunder guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic. Now, SGA is leading the NBA in scoring this season, or he led the NBA in scoring this season at nearly 33 points per game. Not only that, the Thunder finished with the best record in the league at 68 and 14. And in doing so, they set a franchise record for wins in a season. SGA had 13 games where he scored at least 40 points this season, as he was a one-man wrecking crew for OKC. And then, speaking of being a one-man wrecking crew, we have the walking triple-double, and I'm talking about Nikola Jokic, who this season averaged 29.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 10.2 assists. Okay, and if you listen to those numbers, the Joker messed around and averaged a triple double for the entire season. 34 triple doubles to be exact for Nikola Jokic throughout this NBA season. You look at the Joker, he's already a three-time NBA MVP. And if he were to win the award once again, he would be in some rare air. He's already in some rare air, okay? But he would really be in some rare air as he would join LeBron, Will, Kareem, and Bill Russell and Michael Jordan as the only players in league history to be named as NBA's MVP four times or more. Okay. But with all of that said, when it comes down to the voting, well, having won the award three times in the last 4 years work against the Joker. Okay. And the reason why I ask this is because sometimes when players are so good, you tend to take what they do for granted. Some people do. And then sometimes, you have voters who are like, well, you know what? We got to give somebody else a chance. Okay. And I'm just being real about this. But you know what? You look at it because SGA, you cannot overlook the phenomenal season that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is having. And then on top of that, it helps his case that the Thunder have the best record in the league. Matter of fact, okay, to give you an idea of this, they went 68 and 14. Like I said, they set a single season record for franchise wins. Um, Only the Bulls of both 96 and 97, along with the 72 Lakers, the 2016 Golden State Warriors, okay? And those are the only teams who have won more games in a single season in NBA history than SGA's Oklahoma City Thunder squad this year. So you cannot overlook what this young man did. But at the same time, you can't overlook what the Joker has done because Nikola Jokic just joined some rarefied air. We're talking about being in an exclusive club with Oscar Robertson and of course Russell Westbrook as the only players in NBA history to average a triple double for an entire season. Not only did the Joker average a triple double for the entire season, he became the first non-guard to do so. And I think it's one of those where both players are extremely important to their clubs. And it's one of those where you really can't underscore enough what Jokic means to the Nuggets. And it's not just his scoring ability, it's his ability as a passer. His ability as a rebounder, his ability as a facilitator. All of those things make big time impact, mean a big time impact for this team. And honestly, with all of the numbers that Jokic put up this season, the Nuggets really needed it. I mean, they finished tied for third technically in the West. They get the fourth seed for the NBA playoffs. But nonetheless, we saw the injuries. We heard about the infighting with Denver. Of course, It recently led to Michael Malone and Calvin Booth both getting fired. But you have to ask yourself, where would the Nuggets be without the productivity of Nikola Jokic this season? But you can also make that strong case for the Oklahoma City Thunder because at times SGA put that team on his back as well. It's one of those where, if, and hypothetically speaking, if the Joker misses out on becoming the MVP this year, it wouldn't be the first time that a player averaged a triple double for an entire season and did not get the MVP. I mean, Westbrook throughout his career has averaged a triple double four times in the season, okay? And only one of those years resulted in him being named as the NBA's MVP. Of course, the one time that the big old Oscar Robertson did it, he won the MVP because it was unheard of, all right, in that time. And now I know that the game has changed offensively, but 30, 40 years ago, nobody would have thought that a center would have averaged a triple double for an entire season. Is basically with what we're seeing with prime Nikola Jokic right now, he's basically what Arvydas Sabonis would have been in the NBA if he came over originally when the Portland Trailblazers drafted him. And of course, he still had good knees. And if anybody remembers Arvydas Sabonis, the dad of Domantas Sabonis, Arvydas Sabonis was a bad man. And so is Nikola Jokic. So with that said, it's going to be very interesting to see which direction that the voters go in because it's not going to be a co MVP. I think both SGA and the Joker are very deserving of this award, but there's not going to be a co MVP. It's going to be one or the other. But nonetheless, it's one of those at times the MVP can be a popularity contest. At times, the voters can sit back and say, well, this guy has won the award too much. And I think that might be the case right here. And I think because of that, I think the voters are going to lean, or the bulk of the voters, that is, are going to lean against in favor of SGA. They're also going to look at what he's done scoring wise this season. They're also going to look at OKC's record. And typically, usually, the award not only goes with what a player's done on a court, but then also, the team's record. And typically, when you see an MVP award handed out, usually it's to a team that has the or one of the better records in the NBA. And of course, like I said before, OKC does have the best record in the NBA this year. But the Joker has taken this award home in three of the last 4 years. Okay. And of course, if you're a Denver Nuggets fan or you're a Jokic fan, the one year that the Joker did not win the award, Joel Embiid got it. But of course, the Denver Nuggets won uh, the uh, the NBA championship that year. But nonetheless, I think this award is going to come down to Nikola Jokic as well as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. With that said, it's going to continue a trend in the NBA. The last American-born player to win the NBA's MVP award, you got to go back to James Harden in 2018 when he was still with the Rockets. Since then, we've seen Giannis win the award twice. The Joker won it three times, and of course, Joel Embiid won it in 2023. Like I said, both of these guys are extremely deserving of this award. All right, and I don't think either way, there's going to be some happy people when this award comes out, and there's going to be some upset people, regardless. If Jokic wins, or if Jokic wins, excuse me, uh, it's going to be one of those things where, the SGA camp is going to be upset. If the Joker, comes out and wins this award, it's going to be one of those where, SGA's people are upset either way, six one half dozen in the other. If I had a vote, I'd vote for Nikola Jokic. My personal opinion because of the triple double aspect. But again, you can't argue with the record of OKC. You can't argue with SGA's production as a scorer. But again, the all-around game of Nikola Jokic is just too hard to overlook as well. Nonetheless, I'm not a voter. I don't have a seat at that table, but at the end of the day, it's going to be very interesting to see which way that the voters lean. SGA or Nikola Jokic. You take your pick as far as the NBA's MVP, but let's see what happens. But nonetheless, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. And I want to take this time out to thank all of you once again for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. And I want to take this time out to thank you for chiming in. If you like what you heard and saw of this podcast, please feel free to hit that like button as well as subscribing to this channel. Also, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365, and you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off. I'm saying thanks once again for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.